Some students ask me, what do I need to do with university now? Do we need to store, the question is that an entity? But maybe if there would be some information which would be required to be stored about universities, like the address, the name, whatever, but we are not reading anything about this. So currently we are building a system for the university to store information about the students and other stuff. But we are not storing information about the university. We don't see any information being listed here, like address or stuff like this for the university. So we can skip the word university, but for students we need to keep track of name, student number. So apparently student is an entity of interest, the real world object of interest. Student is an entity. And what do we need to store? Well, a couple of attributes here, like name, address, student number.
Thêm số ở đây rồi.
Cái đó là Crawford notation đó.
Student number, social security number. Current address and phone. Now there's the first question. Current address and phone. Is that one attribute or is that two attributes? How did you model it? Current address and phone.
Two.
Two? I would agree two. If I ask you what is your address, you don't tell me your telephone, isn't it? If I ask you what's your telephone number, if I ask you what's your contact details, then you might tell me this is my address, this is my email, this is my telephone number, and so forth. So the business user told us current address and phone, so I need to model it as two attributes. Current address and phone, and subsequently we read a permanent address and phone, so apparently it's not mobile phone, it's landline. We need to know, is that telephone number from his permanent address or for his current address? I hope you're all familiar with what the meaning of it is. Permanent address is what is written in your passport. Current address might be the student dormitory or wherever you're currently living. So we need to keep track of that is the current address, phone number. Then we continue reading permanent address and phone. Okay? Same thing. Address. Permanent address. First, take sex in class. Class, in Klammern, in brackets, freshman, sophomore, and graduate. How did you model the freshman, sophomore?
Composite.
Multi-valued. Others, did you all model it as multi-valued?
Cái
All.
class.
I don't.
Class á. Thì nó
How
có
did you model it?
freshman, sophomore, graduate.
What do you do with freshmen and sophomore? How did you model it? So just look at your diagram. Don't start thinking now. How did you model it? Normal attribute. Normal attribute. So you have one attribute class, one attribute freshman, one attribute sophomore, like this? How? That's it. So you didn't do anything with sophomore and freshman. Why didn't you do anything with it? You forgot or intentionally?
Intentionally.
On purpose or forgotten?
Giống như sách không?
Mình không cần nói cái đó là mình trừ điểm học tiên, không phải là cột. Tôi hỏi tại sao mình có vẽ.
Correct explanation. The freshman and sophomore stuff is like values which we can store in the attribute called class. If I would have written university needs to keep track of student names in brackets, Susan, Peter, Mike, then what do we do with Susan, Peter, Mike? We not to do anything. We model the database schema, not the instance. We model what can be stored in there. We are not modeling what data we actually have in the database. So same, you're not having an attribute like Peter and Susan and stuff. We are not having an attribute sophomore because that is one value which can be stored in the class. Either you're a freshman or you're a sophomore or you're a graduate student or whatever. Make sense? So no multi-valued attribute or whatever was mentioned here. Simple attribute. Major department and minor department. And I might revise some things later. I would just recommend you read your model and later maybe, like in a lecture, we figure out, oh, instead of this attribute, we make it in a relationship, instead of this, we make it different, we scratch and redraw and so on and so forth. But just reading, it looks like this. Degree program, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, this is here. Degree program in Klammern, in brackets, B.A, B.S, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, PhD. How do we model the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, PhD? How do we model it? Bachelor of Arts, what do you do? How did you model the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, PhD information given text? Just look at the diagram. Looks like you now start thinking. Just look at the diagram. How did you do it? Where do you have it? Do you have PhD? No, you don't have. How about you? Wait. Let's see. You're telling me all you have it, but you're not having it. And that is good that you're not having it. Why don't we need to do anything? Same as before. Degree program is an attribute, and that allows us to store whether you're a Bachelor of Science student or Bachelor of Arts or a Master student or a PhD student. Okay? Makes sense? I'm wondering. We just discussed with what was it here? With the class we just discussed. Class, the attribute, freshman, sophomore, the values which we can store. Same here. Degree program. Can a person study more than one study program? Meaning, can a student be PhD student and Bachelor of Science student at the same time? Real world is always more difficult. And we need to decide then and start discussing with business experts. Is that the same student I mean, the same human being, but do we consider him the same student? Because one time he's a student of the PhD, one time he's a student of the bachelor study program, not related to each other. Is he having the same student number or different student number? And lots of questions to be asked. So for our exercises, that's simplifying. And I told you, requirements engineering modeling, that is a difficult part because questions like he's asking is exactly what we need to ask. What's happening if someone can? I mean, in real world, sure, nobody's checking whether you're enrolled at a different university for another program, or even at the same university for a different program. And in fact, I think it's highly welcome. If you're working on your master's degree in computer science, why not do a bachelor in business at the same time? Would be a brilliant combination. Nobody's telling you not allowed. But is that the same student number then you have? And all the other details. You need to understand that mini world, that the reality properly. But we are not practicing this now, we are practicing first how to draw it in the entity, how to model it. So all convinced that we only need to model degree program and nothing need to be done with PhD and Bachelor of Science? Makes sense? If not, just ask questions. Some user application, I just continue reading now. 2A in the middle somewhere. Some user application need to refer to the city, state, and zip code of the student's permanent address. Oh, we have already the permanent address modifier. There. Now, so far, I assume the permanent address is required. I'm storing it as one long text string. Now I'm reading some applications. We need maybe to know which student lives in Ho Chi Minh City, so we need to be able to retrieve data with a filter or the city. So that should be stored in a separate column, individual column. So that sounds like, and I think most of you know it like this, we need a composite attribute. We need to break this thing into pieces. Student's permanent address, that one here. So we need, that's what we are reading, city. And state. And zip. And this is what I did see with a number of the designs out when walking around. But is this correct now? First we model it like this. We keep just like a text string, the complete address. Then we noticed sometimes you need complete address, sometimes you need just to search by city. That's why we added this, revised it, made it a composite attribute. But if I'm modeling like this, I'm basically expressing that the permanent address is composed of city, state, and zip code. So I can only store city, state, and zip code. But earlier we learned we need to keep track of the address. If I'm asking you what is your address, definitely all of you would tell me the city, the street, house number, maybe apartment number, and things like this. So if you model it like this, it's wrong. It's incorrect. And there's no magic here. That is a fully logical, valid assumption, reasonable. Nobody needs to be asked for this, I assume. Sometimes you need to go back to business expert. But here, business expert told us we need the address. And sometimes you need the detail like the city. So you can work out yourself. We need to break it into pieces. We need the street here as well. Then you can ask yourself, how about street number? Street and street number. Is that two attributes or one attribute?
Yeah, one.
I'm not saying this is correct and this is incorrect or vice versa. You can decide. maybe that would be a point to go back to the business expert and ask him, do we sometimes need to search by street, or are we just sending letters and always need to print street and house number, things like this. Depending on the requirements, we either make it 2 attributes or 1. We don't know the details, so maybe we keep it like this, street and number in 1. Maybe we add an apartment number and other stuff to it. But definitely the street should be added, otherwise you would have lost lots of points in the exam.
Ồ.
Let's continue reading.
Không phải.
And the student's last name. Same here.
Học add a lot of
Name
point
we
mà.
do have already.
Thầy bảo là
But now we
thêm
know
vào
we
thì
need
add a
to,
lot of
for
point.
example, search for students by
Thầy bảo
last
là
name.
viết vào hay
So
cộng điểm á.
same here, we need a last name.
Thầy nói là không thêm vào mất điểm mà.
But if we model it like this, again, would be a mistake
Nhưng
because
mà
the
tốt
name
nhất tốt
does
hơn
not
là vẫn nên thi thêm vào.
Vậy là phải thêm vào, không thêm vào mất á.
So we need to add the first name as well.
Cái street á,
Phải tự suy nghĩ.
phải tự suy nghĩ mini world là
Maybe even the middle name or something.
nó
Hỏi được.
Both social security number and student number have
suy
unique
luận ra
values.
overthinking.
What is the
Nếu như mình
information
không
we're getting
mình
from
thêm
this
middle name
sentence?
thì có bị trừ điểm nha.
Well, it's unique.
Không, cái name á, mình không thêm last name hay là first name là bị trừ điểm thiệt.
Social
middle name thì
and
sao?
student number
Chắc là thêm điểm.
are
Hỏi thử.
what we call key attributes, are unique. When we map this later to a table, we can decide, do we make this a primary key or this a primary key? The other will be secondary key. Will be declared to be unique later on in the table. Okay, that's it for number A. Then number B, each department is described by, so apparently we need to keep track of departments as well. And from departments we have a name as well. Code. Office number. College. Both name and code have unique values for each department, so I think not to be required to explain lot office office number. Code.
Thầy bảo là bình thường người ta sẽ đi tham khảo với lại bên kinh tế á, để hiểu xem còn thông tin gì thêm vô.
Have unique values. Okay. Either we continue reading, or at this point of time you already might think, moment. We talk about departments here, we talk about departments there. Like in a lecture, I had modeled the employee working in the department, and then later I figured, oh, let's make this a relationship. Same here, we scratch these 2 attributes, and we make it a relationship, because we do not only store the name of the major and minor department, we have already in our database much more information about departments. So we scratch these 2. And we replace it with relationships.
Okay, understandable.
And for relationships, obviously we need always to decide on the cardinality constraint and the participation constraint. Meaning meaning how often?
Tại cái đưa ra.
How many majors does a student have? Do you know?
One.
How do you know?
Because you.
Is that your assumption or did the business expert tell you?
Ê, công nhận hình như có double major mà đúng không?
I assume.
Hình như có double major.
Có double major.
You're assuming, huh?
Đúng rồi, Elon
But
Musk
you
học
need
2
not
năm lận.
assume. You just read the text. Major department. Is it telling major departments? No.
À.
Number one. You need not to go back and ask the business expert. He will tell you, can you read the text? I told you already. So where do I put the one now? On the left side or on the right side?
Right side.
Right side. Correct.
Dạ sư.
What do I put here? One or many?
Many.
How do we know?
One department can have many students.
Do we assume or did the business expert tell us?
It is that common knowledge.
Common sense. He didn't tell us. We need to make assumptions. If he's saying we are not sure, we can ask him next time we see him. But I think it's a good, reasonable assumption.
Cái gì là coi là
Many
một.
people can study computer science.
Nhưng mà nếu như
So
vậy
let's
trường hợp
make it
mà có
10
người cứ
here
đặt cấp thì sao?
and there. Now we need to talk
I don't
about
know.
the participation constraint. Does a student need to have a major department? Or can a student be stored without being linked to a department as his major? What do you think? Somewhere in the last row. What do you think? Can I have a student without a major? You're hiding there in the very last row.
Major thì có mai này không
Next time you come there.
Ủa nhưng mà nhà sư có thể học tập các mỗi học sinh học ở hai cái.
Và cấp học cả hai major.
So what do you think?
Rồi vậy. Trường hợp đó thì sao?
Can I store a student in a database without him being
Ở
assigned
đây
to
nó
my
ghi là
major department?
department mà.
Ý là nó như là department đúng không? Nhưng mà sự xuất hiện một cái trường hợp nó khó xử.
How about a minor? Optional or mandatory
Ý là một nó
participation?
thể có hai major.
Why optional?
Nhưng mà ở đây nó ghi là
If
gì
any,
không? Nó
it's
ghi là
given
major
there.
department rồi.
If you read, it's saying minor department in brackets, if any. That means some do have a minor department, some don't. So where is the single line now? For sure. That if any, where is the single line?
Minor on the student side.
There. That must be a single line, no discussion. It's given in the text.
Yeah,
How about this line? Single line or double line?
double line.
Assuming or knowing? Assuming. It's a valid assumption because on one side the business expert told us if any major department, he's not talking about if any. So apparently it's required. We could double check next time with him, but reading the text, I think it's very valid to assume double line. How about these lines? Single line or double line?
Single line.
Can I have a department which no one is studying as his major subject?
Yeah. Yes.
Which one? Can you give an example? Okay. It's not given in the text. We need to assume again. I would assume there's a department here called HR. Keeping track of. Can you study HR?
No.
So, single line.
Thì có thể có department mà không ai học hết.
Đúng rồi.
Okay, each course
Hoặc là
has.
HR department nó đâu
So
có ai học
apparently
hoặc
we need to
HR
keep track of
department.
courses.
Ừ. Ờ.
So I just did write all the attributes which we are reading there. Number C, course name, description, course number, semester hours, level. Offering department could be an attribute, but I already have the department, so same as here. I would make it a relationship. And maybe we call it offered by or offers. Actually, some people sometimes you see people putting two names in a relationship. If I read it from here to here, you could say your department offers the course. If you read it from here, I could better make use of a different name. Course is offered by the department. So maybe put two names with a slash in there. But that's a lot of typing. So many people just put one word like this, and if you read it the other way around, you need to convert it yourself. Should be a problem. So same question, is it a one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many? What type of relationship?
One-to-many.
Huh? This one. One-to-many, many-to-many, one-to-many.
One too many. One too many.
So you're looking at common sense or how you expect the real world to be. The text is talking about the department is described by the course and offering department. That's meant. So reading the text, I know that must be a one here. I need not to assume anything, just read the text. Okay? The other thing here is not in the text. Can one department offer more courses or only one? It's not given. We all agree on that. It makes sense to put an N here. How about double line, single line? It's not really mentioned here explicitly. We would need to assume.
Course depend on
By the way, just a quick tip for the exam. This applies to my exam and all the other exams. Sometimes you could read things in this way or in that way, or some information is missing. Like here, must the course be offered always by a department, or can I store a course without knowing which department is offering it? It's not given in the text. What I recommend you do, if you think that is a problem in the exam, you write, I assume, da 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 da, and then you continue working. So no need to ask the guy who's walking around during your exam, invigilating. Don't ask him. You write down, I assume, and you continue. And if it's a valid assumption, full points. If you assume a course can be offered by many departments, not valid because there's written. Each course has a course name, da da da, and offering department, not nuance, one. Okay, then we continue reading sections. And we will read the section. Instructors, lesson year. Course and section number. Course we have already, so we make it again a relationship here. So we finished the first sentence of number D.
Thì tại vì
We
trong
have,
kia cũng ghi rõ
let's
mà.
finish this. The section is having
Each
a
course
course,
has
so
offering
there
department.
must be one again.
Có thể
That is very likely. And
có thể là có. Có thể.
double lines we don't know yet really. Common sense would tell us a section must belong to a course. I don't want a section that's not belonging to a course. But let's read a bit further. Now it gets a bit more difficult. Second sentence of D is telling us the section number. Let's think here. Distinguishes different sections of the same course that are taught during the same semester. It's valid as 1, 2, 3, 4, up to the number of sections taught during each semester. Now, what are we learning from this sentence? Apparently, the section number is not unique. It's not like a student number. It's more along the lines of the previous exercise where we talk about leg numbers, isn't it? That VN030 flight, leg number 1. Just the number 1 is not telling us anything. But if we know, VN30, leg number 1 makes sense. Same here. This course, first section. If I just give you the first section, you don't know. Is he talking databases, operating system, IT security? Okay. Section number is not unique. So apparently it's a partial key only. How did we model partial keys? Dashed line. But when can we have partial keys? Only in weak entities. So we learn this must be a weak entity. How do weak entities work? We always need to have double line here, we need to have double line there, we need to have double line here, meaning we need to have an identifying relationship.
Section different.
Because we don't have a key attribute. It's written there. Section number distinguishes different sections of the same course, not in general.
個phụ圖話 section 㗎。
Only within the same course, it's distinguishing
course.
the sections. And even worse, the sentence did continue. It's not telling us the section number distinguishes different sections of the same course, same as the leg number distinguishes the different flight legs from a different flight. Sentence is not finished, it's continuing. Of the same course that are taught during the same semester. So if I'm telling you the database course, it's the first section, you have quite a bit of information already, but without giving you the information in which year, you don't, for example, know which instructor did teach them and which student did attend. Because every year some other students did attend. So in order to identify a section, apparently I need to know the course number, the section number, the year, and the semester. Because some courses seem to be offered in both semesters, summer and winter. So I need, just repeat one more time, I need the course number. I forgot to underline it earlier. There was a key here. I need to know the course number. I need to know the semester, the year, and the section. So how do I model this now? How do I model partial keys? Dashed line. What would be what is the meaning of these attributes being underlined?
Primary key.
Key attribute. Is that one key attribute or are both individually unique?
Both.
Both are individually unique. If I would put a dashed line here, here, and here, what would be the meaning? Each one of them uniquely is a partial key and can, in combination with that thing, identify a section. But that is not correct. We said we need to know the course number, the section, the semester, and the year. We need to know all three, not only one. So how can we express this? We need to find a workaround because we cannot model it directly. So what we do is, We do it like this. We tell that the combination of semester, year, and section number is unique, or is a partial key. I need to combine, I need a composite attribute being composed of semester, year, and section number, and this in combination is one part of the key, and in combination with that other part of the key, then you know which section we're talking about. No, because if you put the dashed line here, and there, that would mean similar like here, it's meaning the name is unique. And this is unique. And what I want is the combination is unique, not here, but here. I need all three. In
Còn cả ba thì mất xác định được
let's put it this way. And in the exam, very likely we don't go in these special cases here. But you should be very clear, and that's why exercises are not always, but sometimes a bit more difficult than what we do in the exam, to make you really understand it.
Nhưng mà trong cái đề nó khá là thường phải section number section number
Xem có xem gì semester kìa.
Finish this question. Quick voting. Who would like to have? Who would like to finish now? Who would like to have a break?
semester year.
Who's listening to me? Alright, it is many. So one more time. Who would like to have a break now? Who would like to finish this first? Okay. Okay. Then what's missing is
A grade
the last
report.
point, E. Grade report. Where can I look? Do we have a
Nhưng mà
grade
vậy là
report
mình vẽ
before?
cái hình rồng như kiểu partial key.
Đúng rồi. Nhưng mà phải gạch nó xuống. Thì đó bài tập thầy bảo sẽ khó hơn đó. Thầy bảo bài tập sẽ khó hơn bài thi.
Còn một trường
The what? Say again.
The cost to the section, yeah.
This relationship you don't understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Reading number D, I'm reading each section has, then comes a list of attributes, and there is a thing mentioned, each section has an instructor, one instructor, semester, year, course. Course could be modeled as an attribute, but we already modeled the course as an entity. So instead of making the course an attribute being attached to the section again, I'm revising and making it in a relationship. Okay? So relationship, and we already know there must be a one here. That is from this part. And then we did continue reading about the section number and figured out it's not a key attribute, it's not unique, it's a partial key. Knowing it's a partial key, we know it must be a weak entity. Weak entities always must have double line, double line, double line. That's how we get to this solution. Now, grade report. Who can give me your proposal how you did the grade report? Then we quickly talk about what is the grade in the USA. Grade A1, E1 minus
này thầy nói nếu như mình gặp đến cái partial key cho từng ba cái toán xảy ra như nào
Sai là bởi vì nó chỉ cần một trong ba cái đó thôi.
So it could be something like this. Maybe we have addition grades with plus and minus or so. But basically, in the USA, they have grades like characters. But if they want to work out what's your average grade, obviously we need to quickly translate the
Vậy là
numbers
nếu
to
như
the
mình gặp
math, then we can
partial key của ba
translate
cái
back
mình
to
được lấy lẻ từng cái.
But there is a fixed scheme on how to do the mapping. Maybe it's like this, maybe it's different. I don't know.
Đương nhiên nữa.
Now, how do we store a grade report? Why is that thing going on? solution, how you want it to be a multivariate. But now it gets difficult. I see a grade report is having a number grade, and I could do the same for numeric grade. Then I would know, oh, there's like a A1 and A1 and A and 1, but I don't know which course does it belong to. If I make this a relationship between here and there, then I know this student is having this grade report, and he's having all these grades. And this grade report is keeping track of all these sections. But still, I don't know now in which section is he having this grade, in which other section are the grades. Isn't it? There's a problem. So you need to take a step back and think, now what's the requirement? The requirement is you need to be able to create a grade report, isn't it? Now you need to ask yourself, remember, what are we doing in database design? You need to ask yourself, what data do I need to store? Such that I can provide all the functionality it had been asked for. So if we need to be able to print grade reports, we need to somewhere store the information which student did receive which grade in which section. If we have that information, then we can generate at runtime the grade report. That's it. So let's remove the idea of storing a grade report. Nobody asked you for storing a grade report. The request was we need to be able to generate a grade report. And what we need to do, store in order to be able to generate a grade report, could be something like this. That I keep track of a student in a section and add a grade here. So I need to keep track of which student did write an exam in which section and which numeric and letter grade did you receive. Can a student attend many different sections? So there should be n. Can in one section many students receive a grade? So let's make it an n. Must the student participate in this relationship? Can I have a student in the database he never wrote an exam? Single line. Can I have a section in which no one did write an exam? Sure. Beginning, nobody did write databases now. Only going to come next month. So single line. So that's one solution. Anything is not the best solution. It works, but not the best solution. Anyone seeing a problem with this solution? The problem is, now store, he wrote the exam in databases, he received an A, that is a 1. He received the databases, he received an A, that is a 2. He took databases, got an A, that is a 3. Is that good? Why is that problem possible? Apparently I have data inconsistencies here. I do not want to have the option to store data inconsistencies. I want to make a design such that I have good quality at that. This should never be possible to happen. Why was it possible to happen?
Because you have to grade systems.
Because I have data redundancy. If I'm telling you he's an A, you need not to tell me it's a 1. I can somewhere look it up. Okay. So somewhere I saw the thing that he made a derived attribute, like this thing here. Better. Not partially, I'm talking and writing, sorry. Dash line here. how to partial key the right attribute like this. Number grade, I'm storing. Letter grade, I can write all the other way around. One option. Now you could ask yourself, how does your Java program, which later retrieves the data, which is picking up the numeric grade, how are you able to figure out which letter grade it is? You could argue, well, somewhere I know, so I'm burning it into my Java program. My program can do it. But all the other programs need to do it in the same way. You write a Java program, you translate like this. You write a Java program, you translate differently. Again, I have a problem. How do I fix that problem? You should never have these type of conversions being burned into your application program. These conversion stuff should be stored somewhere, like in a parameter file, or we talk databases, it should be stored in a table somewhere. So maybe we have somewhere a table like this in our database. And your Java program can read the numeric grade, then it's checking here the conversion, and will be able to display the other value. Okay? So that's one option. The other option, maybe I take different color. I could make it like this.
Ternary.
I could do it I could do it like this, and I'm saying I'm storing a table called grade, or I'm designing an entity, the real world object. Grades are of interest for me, and then it would be a table in which I'm just storing basically this thing. So there's one row, A equals 1. I'm not repeating that information. One time I'm storing it. And now I'm just keeping track of this student, this section is having this grade here. Three-way relationship. Obviously you can ask now, what if he repeats the exam, should that be a 1 or a many here, things like this. But three-way relationship to keep track of this student, this course, this grade. This student, this course, this grade. So either the blue or the black. If you found another solution, very likely it's not correct. If you think it's correct, let me see it. Try to convince me. I'm quite sure it's not working properly.